One of the most important things in the books is this relationship between Aes Sedai and Warder. And we needed to figure out a way to see it on screen and feel it through the eyes of our characters. That's very much what episode 105 was about at a core emotional level. Shooting Karene's funeral was really incredible because it just happened to be snowing. And it's one of those things where you kind of stumble into something that's even more beautiful than what you planned.
It was frigid, snowing, terrible conditions, which sounds like not something you'd want to do, but it helps so much to inform your emotion. Once you got up there, they had actual graves dug. They had mummified dummies in these graves. And Stepan carried Karene's body up the hill. And it was one of the most visually stunning moments I've ever seen as an actor.
We really see Stepan's grief at having lost his Aes Sedai Karene. And every time we go to Stepan, you usually see a shot of Moiraine or Lan afterwards and how his pain is affecting the two of them.
The pain. That's the only thing I have left of her.
It's very common for warders to have suicidal thoughts and to go into a deep depression if something happens to their Aes Sedai. And that's what we see with Stepan.
In episode 5, we wanted to start and end it with a funeral and really connect this feeling of what it means to be an Aes Sedai and warder through these two funerals. One of the ways we represent that difference between the masculine and feminine is we tried to find two sounds that only women could make and only men could make. So in the opening of the episode, you hear Kulning, which is this Nordic cattle herding call. And it's a sound only women can make, and it's the loudest sound that humans can make. And then at the end of the episode, we have this Mongolian throat singer doing this very masculine singing where you produce two tones in the back of your throat. And so it was just another way to try to layer in that kind of balance between the genders. Filming the Stepan funeral scene was a hugely emotional day for everyone. The writer of the episode, Celine Song, did a ton of research into different funeral ceremonies around the world. One of the things she had really keyed in on was this idea of a lead mourner, someone who sort of takes on everyone else's grief.
Lan Mondragon, relieve us of our grief.
No one in the room is really allowed to cry or to project emotion, except for the designated mourner, and that's Lan, which is really tricky because Lan is someone who doesn't show emotion. So I struggled with that a lot. I didn't know what his relationship with tears would be. But I thought he would understand how to scream. And so that's kind of how I approached it, is just sort of finding a way to scream out this pain.
It lets us get a window into a character that would normally not express his grief in that way. But also the fear of what it could do to Moiraine or to him if they lost each other. We had to lay everyone else's grief onto him so that you could sort of take him to this heightened place.
Have we reached a decision?
It's easy to call him sadistic or the bad guy, but his beliefs are so strong. So yes, he does have some very harsh, evil tactics, but he believes he's saving everybody. And so that belief drives him forward.
What makes you think that I'm a man who stays true to his oaths? That I won't just bleed you out right here and now?
If you're going to do it, then do it.
Everything you tear away from Egwene, you just reveal steel underneath. And I think Maddie did such a great job performing that and seeing this glimpse of this character do whatever it takes to make sure that the right thing is being done, no matter how hard it is.
You would have made a strong Aes Sedai.
This was a very important sequence to set her core character traits in place for the series. Likewise for Perrin. This is a moment where he is really grappling with the guilt he has over his wife. He's finally telling someone out loud what really happened in the Forge and assuming that she will hate him for what he's done.
It was an accident, Perrin. Not your fault.
It's the first step in Perrin beginning to accept what he did and starting to figure out his own relationship with violence.
What are you?
Oh, I didn't even hear you come in.
Stay back!
Oh dear, you humans are very excitable.
One of the characters we were all just so thrilled to bring to life in the show is Loial. He's a real fan favorite of the books. He's one of my favorite characters. And it's something we really had to get just right. And it all came to life when we found our actor, Mohammed.
This is it. Let's go.
He brings all of the joy to the Wheel of Time crew that the character of Loial brings to the Wheel of Time crew in the books. Sally Richardson Whitfield, who directed episode 5, she really took on Loial as like her challenge and her thing to bring to us.
My favorite thing is when you see her. His hands are so beautiful.
That is very odd. I like oddities.
She did an incredible job working with prosthetics, hair, sound, all of these different departments to create this character who feels both completely of our world, but also distinctly different.
Always in such a rush, these humans. Never taking time to properly prepare for what they're walking into.
Whoa, oh my God. I see the
See you later.
We have to try everything. Drink.
Keeping this for later.
I don't care about the show. I just want a good blooper reel.
I want to learn science.
You guys are gonna make me look like I'm in the show, right? You're gonna put in the effects. Replace the green. I don't want to look like an asshole here.
Sorry.